Greetings, my friend. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Matt Schifferly with another video to help you be fit and live free. Today is a question from the RDP mailbag, specifically isometrics. What kind of exercises or programming would be good for addressing belly fat or a flabby belly? And it's a very good question because there's all sorts of messages within our fitness culture telling us, oh, this is the way to attack body fat or belly fat, or if you need to get rid of belly fat or anything, this is the exercise to do, or this is the diet to follow, or don't eat these sorts of foods and stuff. So these messages are all around us telling us that the answer is out there somewhere. And the reason why we keep looking for the answer is because it just doesn't exist. This is because fundamentally, exercise is not at all in any way, shape, or form about aesthetic augmentation of the body. Every type of training you ever do in any way, shape, or form all does exactly the same thing, which essentially tells your body, hey, body, I need you to be able to do this thing. In other words, we adapt to accommodate functional demand, to be able to do what we're asking it to do, not to necessarily look how we want it to look. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that exercise doesn't have some influence over the aesthetics of the body. I mean, obviously, like, I didn't have that until I was doing pull-ups and curls and bicep curls and stuff like that. So yes, building up your muscles can certainly have an influence over your aesthetic shape and everything. So it does have some carryover, absolutely. But it's not direct in any means, shape, or form because your body doesn't care what you look like. It only cares what it can do. So building up good strength and work capacity of a muscle is a good way to help to shape and firm up certain areas, but it's even less so when it comes to actual body fat. That's because fundamentally the levels of body fat on our, physique are controlled by calorie balance, or the rate at which we consume calories versus the expenditure. In which case people will say, oh, okay, it's diet. No, it's not diet either, because diet is only 50% of that calorie balance. Granted, it's usually a bigger influence than any type of exercise you're doing, but there is no diet or exercise anything that has a direct, do this, get rid of body fat kind of approach. Everything is just influencing that caloric balance, that process, and it's that process that actually is in control of the total amount of fat over our body. And then what we do is we adjust our diet and adjust our workouts and be physically active to influence that process. So it's kind of a weird thing. On one hand, there is no diet or exercise anything that directly changes our body fat levels or addresses belly fat, and yet at the same time, everything you do has some degree of influence over that process. So nothing does everything, but everything does something. So what's the actual practical takeaway from this? Well, first and foremost is stop looking for any sort of what do I do to get rid of belly fat? It just doesn't exist. There is no direct way to address that. But there's lots of things you can do. The isometrics are a fantastic way to strengthen up the abdominals, make those muscles underneath the belly fat firmer, and that will help to feel more solid in that section of the body, as well as any other form of strength training that can build the muscle to be bigger in particular. So challenge your muscular work capacity. Manage your diet, of course. Don't get too hung up on what's the correct diet or anything like that. Make sure you're just getting regular, stable, consistent consumption of your foods. I recommend, focus on the 3 P's at every meal: plant, protein, portion control, and look at other things for big sources of luxury calories. No liquid calories if you can. Try not to snack too much. Overeating, that sort of thing, is usually good places to start from a dietary perspective. Oh, and one last little point too is remember that very effective means of physiological aesthetic augmentation, building the muscle, losing fat, usually we don't need to necessarily go after these things as directly as possible anyway. Building muscle and strength and performance is good for other reasons as well. Managing a healthier diet has lots of benefits and makes us feel good, even if it's not doing anything for body fat levels. So the stuff that we should be doing to help us look good naked is also the stuff that has all the other benefits that we're looking for. So we don't necessarily need to address it with anything special. The stuff we would do for general health and fitness and well-being is usually what we need to address for aesthetic augmentation, decreasing body fat levels anyway. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It's greatly appreciated. Likes and shares and the buttons down there. I don't know what's down on YouTube these days. They're always changing it up on me. But if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Love to hear from you. I'll see you in the next video. Be fit and live free.